Silence? Who Wants to Play Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? Which is a new A24 film from director Helena Rain, who did a film called Instinct. This was written by Sarah DeLappe and Kristen Ropinian in their first film credit, but it won't be their last. And this stars a few people in its very, very small cast. Amanda Stenberg, who was Rue from The Hunger Games. Yes, the little girl just wanted to help out Jennifer Lawrence's Katniss, and it cost her goddamn life. So now she's in films like this from A24. And she's getting a meaty role here. Speaking of meaty roles, Maria Barkova, who turned in some good performances earlier in her career, even though she's young. It's not like she's been going for like fucking ever, but she's getting meaty roles like this. Hooray for meaty roles. Also, Pete Davidson, the human lemur king, is in this. I just can't help but fucking see a lemur. Anyway, nevertheless, he was recently dating Kim Kardashian. He got out of that after everybody else has already gone in. It's like, the Seven Dwarfs. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. And when they whistle while they work, the echo will twerk. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho. No, I don't know what I'm on about. But nevertheless, there's a few other people in this very, very small cast. And it's basically a bunch of rich Gen Zers that decide to have a party amidst a hurricane. And it's a big old house. And they know each other really goddamn well. And since they're all rich and they have nothing to do but stay in the goddamn house and just have fun and play games, they drink, they do drugs, and they reminisce and share stories. So, in the beginning, there was rap, as Dr. Dre once said. But nevertheless, we are introduced to Sophie, Amanda Stenberg, and B, Maria Barkova's character. They're together, and they're going to go see a bunch of Sophie's friends. And that's Pete Davidson's David. Boy, that must have been really goddamn hard. Hey, Davidson, you're here. You're due on set. And also there's Alice, played by Rachel Sennott. And then Emma. Chase Sue Wendez. I really hope I am not butchering these names. I do apologize. And there's Jordan. Mahala Herald, who actually I think turns in one of the better performances of the movie. In fact, all the performances are really strong in this. But yeah, they're Gen Zers or amongst a hurricane, and so it's a downpour and everything, and they decide to pass the time. They want to play games after doing drugs and drinking. They play a game called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Basically, here's what ends up happening. It's like you play this game, you take a piece of paper, and whoever has the X on it is the murderer, and then you have to go around while the lights are off, and then you kill somebody by tapping them on the back. They fall over, they play dead, and then you yell bodies, 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 and then they have to figure out who the fuck did it. So when they turn the lights on, it's like, okay, everything's fine, but then suddenly people start dying for real, and they have to figure out what the fuck is going on. Also, the power went out because you're in the middle of a fucking hurricane. What the fuck do you think was going to happen? So now everybody has to figure out what the fuck is happening to solve this mystery before they are history. This ain't DuckTales. Woohoo. So, A24's track record of films is like 90 to 10. 90% good to fucking incredible. Some of my favorite films of the year, some of my favorite films of the last decade. And then the 10% is stuff like The Monster and a few others. And After Gang. And a couple other films that, After Gang wasn't bad. The whole point is A24, they just have a tremendous fucking track record. I own a few of their movies. I'm planning to buy more. And I'm planning to have a giant collection because I love A24 movies. Waves was one of my favorite, or was my favorite movie of 2019. It was fucking incredible and came out of nowhere. So I was excited to see this, and I can definitely see some people not liking this for this specific reason, I guess really is the best way I can say. The characters are not likable at all. There is really no reason to like any of them. Sure, there are reasons to dislike others more than some others, but as far as like rooting for anybody, you really don't want to root for anybody because it turns out that everybody's got a goddamn skeleton or 50 in their closet. And since they're all rich and everything and they come for money or come on money or a pile of money comes on them or money comes out of them, whatever it is, they really are just rich, whatever the fuck they want to do, basically. And then it turns out as we peel back these layers on this tremendously well done story from Sarah and Kristen, who again give them more stuff. A24, give them more stuff. Neon Studios, give these two talented women some more stuff, please. I'm begging you, because if this is their first film credit, and obviously they have writing experience, but if this is what they can do in their debut, this is fucking goddamn great. And everybody turns in a pretty good performance here. But then, as I said, once one body, appears, and then more start to pile up, you're like, okay, it's a small cast, but this is getting a little bit scary. And also, it turns out that they just basically pick on each other and expose each other's flaws and everything. And all it takes is just one little triggering point. And that's another thing. There's a lot of buzzwords, a lot of Gen Z stuff, and it's mocking Gen Z people while also talking about Gen Zs. And it does a really good job balancing it. Again, I can see people not liking this. I could also see this film gaining a cult following and doing better on streaming than I think it'll do in theaters. Now, I watched it in theaters, and there was maybe 10 other people in there. I do not see this being a raging success, but I also don't think it costs more than a few $1 million, because A24 is pretty smart with their money. But it turns out to actually be a well-told story that's only like 90 minutes long. It's very, very good. In fact, it's one of my favorite films of the year, and I've said that quite a bit, but it's from A24, so naturally I'm going to really, really like it. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do for, well, if they have any more that are going to come out this year. They do. Pearl, which is the prequel to X. It's already coming out. It's amazing. But anyway, in all seriousness, this film, once it starts to reveal its secrets and all this stuff, it becomes increasingly obvious, actually, from the word go, what actually happened. And then it turns out once you see, like, a reveal near the end, that, oh yeah, if you actually paid any little bit of attention, you would have known that's exactly what happened. And it just shows how maybe your friends really aren't your friends. It turns out to actually be really goddamn good. It's worth watching. It's 100% worth watching. I am going to get into spoilers here, but it's really, really good. Very meaty. Very good performances by Amanda Stenberg, Maria Barkova, and even the others that have. Everybody really gets pretty much like a starring role here outside of like a couple, the couple people that turn up dead soon. But just really, really good. Really, really well done. Fucking hats off. I hope to see more from this director as well, Helena Rain. I hope I pronounced that right. So anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers, but 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so in the beginning, after Sophie and Bee arrive, it turns out that Sophie has a bit of a contentious relationship with these friends. And there's this older guy named Greg that is dating one of the girls, Alice. And it turns out that there's a bit of an age difference, but nevertheless, there's Pete Davidson's character, David, who that's his parents' house. So they're just going to have fun and whatever. Well, everybody, they don't bother to get their son out of there. They just do that. But there is this point near the beginning, or a few minutes into the whole thing after they arrive at the party, where they can't open the champagne. This guy takes his freaking knife, Greg does, and he just, this like sword, and just does this and cuts part of the neck off and then pours that in there instead of uncorking it, because apparently they're too drunk or stupid to figure that out. So then sometime later, David kind of, picks on Emma a little bit because they're together, but David's also a fucking asshole, a real big fucking asshole. And there's other secrets, like Sophie kind of keeps trying to hide some stuff that's going on with her. It turns out that Sophie also went to rehab at one point, and her parents cut her off from her trust fund. And then she had to prove that she could get back, on her feet. So the friends noted, well, Sophie, you never responded in the chat. You just showed up. Like, what the fuck's actually going on? And she's also been together with B just for a number of weeks. I think it's been 6, maybe 8 weeks. So everybody just moves really fast in these relationships. And then after playing the bodies, it seems like this guy Greg is dead. Oh, no, he's not. And everybody's trying to figure out who the killer is. Like, who actually got the X? And is that person who got the X actually doing the killing? Well, then a little bit later, after the storm gets worse, the weather started getting rough, Pete Davidson is found slamming against the window because his neck is cut. Who the fuck cut his neck? What the hell's going on? So everybody's trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. And then we get more secrets exposed. The writing's really witty. I'm going to leave that for people to figure out, or for people to experience for themselves. But suffice to say, they think it might be this guy Greg, because he's really strange and Alice doesn't really know him that well. It also turns out that Jordan, that Sophie may have actually been together with one of the other people. And that she may have actually been together with her very recently, like just before she picked up B. Because there's a certain thing that B finds out a little bit later. But this guy Greg, he's got, you know, a suitcase that, like, with storm stuff, like a knife and everything, and just in case they get trapped out in a storm, like, you know, like, what the hell is this about? It's survival gear. Well, then they confront him while he's doing some kind of meditation thing. They were screaming for him, but he has headphones in. And somehow this room has some kind of electricity, or maybe it's battery powered, whatever. Well, they got these weapons, and then Greg kind of gets a little bit antsy, and B decides to take a weight that he was using and beat him over the head with it. Just beat him over the head. Well, that kind of sets off a chain of events where things get a whole lot worse, and Sophie and B's relationship becomes fractured. A whole bunch of other shit happens. Emma turns up dead, and it turns out that maybe Jordan had something to do with it. And Jordan even says, hey, you know, you probably should talk to your girlfriend, B. You probably should talk to her because she basically begged me to stop by her apartment. Check her text messages. And then, the next after more people die, Jordan dies because, of course, because movie. There's only two left, Sophie and B. And then they're kind of having a bit of a tense issue here, because basically what ends up happening is B wants to see her phone. Well, no, I'm not going to let you see my phone. And then Sophie, it turns out, didn't actually have her phone. She didn't have her phone. She had David's phone. So they checked out David's phone. And David ended up, this is all that happened. This was the reveal at the end. They check it out because they finally get reception. The power comes back in a miracle, like amount of hours, like really, really quick, despite the fact it was a bad hurricane, apparently. And they're trudging through the mud that's around the pool and everything, and they get the phone, they look, and there's a TikTok dance where he's trying to do the knife, the sword slice thing from the champagne, and he cuts his own neck. All this shit happened, and all these people died, and all these secrets got revealed, and all these friends exposed the fact that they were fucking dicks to each other because a guy cut his own neck. That's it. That's all it was. It was fucking hilarious. It was really, really fucking hilarious. All that shit happened because Pete Davidson was a fucking idiot. The Human Lemur King strikes again. The movie gets an A+ because it's really, really goddamn good. Yes, I've handed out a lot of A+ this year. It's been a really good year for film. I was very entertained by this. Is it going to end up being in my top 15 favorite films of the year? Hard to tell, but this is really, really fucking good. A24 knocks it out of the goddamn park. I enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.